For our own group data, there were a total of 15 participants and 15 controls who just walked by. In the control group, 13.3% showed negative facial expressions, 33.3% positive, and 53% neutral. Sincere positive facial expressions were not observed. Prior to stimulus application, 2/3 of the participants showed neutral facial expressions, 26.7% positive, and 6.7% sincere positive. Post-experiment, 53.3% displayed sincere positive facial expressions, 40% positive, and 6.7% neutral. In contrast to the control group, negative facial expressions were not observed. According to our group's data, the facial expressions of participants were seen to improve in affect after playing hopscotch by shifting from neutral to positive. Furthermore, no sincere positive expressions were observed in the control group, with the majority displaying negative facial expressions, while no negative expressions were observed in the post-experiment group, with the majority displaying sincere positive emotions. These findings support the hypothesis that hopscotch helps to produce a temporary uplift in mood and therefore a decrease in stress. According to the aggregate class data, there were a total of 363 participants and 181 controls. Regarding controls, 8.8% were negative, 70.7% neutral, 19.3% positive, and only 1.1% were sincerely positive. In the pre-experimental group, 5.5% were negative, 56% neutral, 31.3% positive, and 7.1% were sincere positive. The pre-experimental group participants were in a slightly better mood in comparison to the control group. No participants displayed negative expressions post-experiment. 8.8% displayed neutral expressions, 38% positive, while a staggering 52.7% let out a sincere positive Duchenne smile. This is over a 7-fold improvement to observations prior to stimulus administration. Using the overall data, comparisons between the post-experimental group and the control group show that hopscotch is helpful in eliciting positive and sincere positive expressions, which represents stress level reduction. These findings mirrored findings in Chang and colleagues' 2013 study, who suggests that university students with a higher level of playfulness were able to experience more positive emotions and less negative emotions. The results also aligned with Aldana and colleagues' 1996 study, who reported that low level of leisure time physical activity led to higher level of work-related stress. Furthermore, Kale and Lin's 2013 study found that being playful and silly can help with better resilience and lower levels of perceived stress. These past studies all support the findings of the current study, which in turn supports the hypothesis that hopscotch reduces levels of stress among university students. One of the strengths is that the experiment was easy to set up, as chalk was the only required apparatus. The second strength is that previous samples of this experiment already exist online, which gave us a model to replicate. Lastly, our study was a true random assignment, as participants were not aware of their participation, nor were they coerced into participation, and thus participation was by chance. One limitation of our study was due to weather. Some of us did the study on a sunny day, while some on a rainy day, which might represent a confounding variable. People are unlikely to smile on a rainy day, as they are rushing to avoid the rain. A second limitation was that some people did not notice or chose to purposely ignore the hopscotch. We suggest that future studies consider choosing locations other than campus, such that people of different age groups may have the opportunity to participate. Moreover, it is recommended that data for future studies are collected on sunny days in order to decrease the negative effects of unpleasant weather on hopscotch participation. Our group also suggests trying 4 different interventions: a group of model participants with and without active recruitment, as well as an individual model participant with and without active recruitment. By collecting data from various interventions, future studies could see if intervention type also affects emotions after playing hopscotch.